Season, there you go. J-Dawg's Fearless Football picks for Week 5. Very 70s right there, almost like No Time to Die font. Mary Tyler Moore Show font. You're going to make it, after all. All right, as you know, I told you I get the haircut, and there it is. Hair is cut, ready to go for a new week. Last week, I was 10-6 in Week 4. I'm 32-32, evening up overall. And we're going to start with the Horse Bowl tonight. 8:15 p.m. on Prime Video, Thursday Night Football, as the Indianapolis Colts are at the Denver Broncos. Broncs are 2-2, Colts are 1-2-1. And I can't figure either one out. New quarterbacks, potentially new leases on life, and yet they can't figure it out. Russ Wilson, I don't know what's going on with him. Matty Ryan, I definitely don't know what's going on with him. Right now, Denver listed as a 3.5-point favorite. This one's going to be close because Denver's defense keeps them in the games. I'm going to say within 3 to 5 points that the Broncos are going to win this game. I'm going to take Denver to beat Indianapolis in this one. Now we move to Sunday, and across the pond, like it was for the Vikings and the Saints last week, the Green Bay Packers host the New York Football Giants. This is considered a home game, and it's going to be played in London at Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, where Tottenham Hotspur plays. Gemma Arterton, the great actress, that's her favorite team, by the way. When she grew up in Kent, England, Tottenham Hotspur was her, they call them supporters. And she was a supporter, and still is, of Tottenham Hotspur. The Spurs, essentially. That's a great logo, too. And that's where the Packers are going to play the Giants, the surprising New York Football Giants, who, like the Green Bay Packers, are also 3-1. Right now, Packers are listed as an 8.5-point favorite. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to go within 5 to 7 points because I don't think this will be a bloodbath. The Packers are starting to figure it out little by little. Romeo Doubs looks like he's going to be a star with Aaron Rodgers, and you could clearly see if you watch the Patriots-Packers game on Sunday, Aaron Rodgers was losing a lot of patience with this young core, this wide receiver core. They can't pass to Randall Cobb 50 times a game anymore like he did back in the past. So I'll take the Packers to win this one by 3.5 to 5 points. That's going to be 8:30 a.m. on NFL Network. Next, we have the Pittsburgh Steelers at the Buffalo Bills. That's 1 p.m. on CBS. And the Bills are 3-1. The Steelers are 1-3. And the Kenny Pickett era has begun in the Steel City. He's going to take the starting job from Mitch Trubisky. And right now, a 14.5-point lead favorite are the Buffalo Bills. I'm going to go within 10 to 13 points. I don't think it's going to be 14.5. Although the Bills, they have that high-octane offense and they are home, there's a chance this game could get out of hand real quick. I don't know what's going on with the Steelers. They can't figure it out right now. They better figure it out. 1-3. I don't think Mike Tomlin, as the head coach of the Steelers, has ever gone 1-3 until now. But I'll take the Buffalo Bills in this one. Next, we have the Cleveland Browns at 2-2 hosting the Los Angeles Chargers, also at 2-2, 1 p.m. on CBS. Cleveland is the place to be this weekend. Not only do you have the Guardians, who surprised the baseball world with one of the lowest payrolls in the game, one of the youngest teams in the game, used 18 rookies, which was very close to a record in baseball history, to get to the postseason with 92 wins. They're going to host the Tampa Bay Rays in a best-of-3 wild card series tomorrow, Friday. Saturday would be Game 2, and should they get to a Game 3, as it's a best-of-3, it would be Sunday. So, what happens if it goes to a Game 3? Cleveland is going to rock because that game, I think, is going to be a later game. The Browns are the 1 o'clock. Cleveland, the place to be this weekend. This Sunday, it is as I said, the Chargers right now hold a 3.5-point lead, and really disappointing both teams. The Jaguars went in and humiliated L.A. a couple weeks ago, and the Browns, they should have beaten the Atlanta Falcons. Marcus Mariota, he didn't even pass for 10 attempts, and he still was able to, well, I should say, he only completed the ball, 7 times? He only got 7 completions, and they still were able to win the game, the Falcons were. Ugh, nightmare. What a nightmare. The Browns are one of those kind of teams this year, unfortunately. I'm going to take the Chargers to win by 10 points. Although Myles Garrett is coming back, he had that vehicle accident. He did not play at Atlanta. I think that played a bit of a factor. I just don't think the high-octane offense of Los Angeles, I think, is too much. I'm not sure Cleveland can keep up, although it is in Cleveland, and that does help. Don't think it'll be enough, though. Next, we have the Chicago Bears at the Minnesota Vikings. That's 1 p.m. on CBS. And right now, the Minnesota Vikings are a 7.5-point favorite. I'm going to take the points on this one and go 10 to 13 points. The Bears are 2-2 and look lost. The Vikings are 3-1 and are really showing me something. The high-octane offense of the Minnesota Vikings is just, when they're not in prime time, they play really well. They're not in prime time this time. They're hosting the Chicago Bears, a hated rival of theirs, and vice versa. The Bears are at a hated rival in the Minnesota Vikings. And that'll be at 1 p.m. on Fox. I'll take the Vikes in this. Next, we have the Detroit Lions at the New England Patriots. Patriots are 1-3. Lions are also 1-3. Lions are the dichotomy of the NFL right now. Best offense in the league, high octane, number 1. Worst defense in the league, number 32. I don't know what I'm getting with them. They barely lost to the Seattle Seahawks. I think it was like 48-45. They barely lost, but they lost. A team they should have beaten. Right now, the Patriots are installed as a 3.5-point favorite. I will take them by a touchdown. The Lions do play close games, and this is kind of going to be a reunion of sorts for Matty Patricia, who's now back as a coordinator with the Patriots. He was the head coach of the Detroit Lions. It didn't work out, and he got fired for Dan Campbell. And right now, the Lions, as I said, 1-3. Pats are 1-3. I think the Pats will get the win here. By the way, Pats are going to wear their old school uniforms, that crouching Pat the Patriot. They're going to wear that this Sunday for the first time in a decade. They're going old school. That may help. I think it will. I think the Patriots are going to beat the Lions in this one. The last time the Detroit Lions won in Foxborough, that's a great trivia question right there. I know that the Lions last beat the Patriots in like 1994 on Monday Night Football in Detroit. But I'm trying to remember there was another time in Foxborough when they won. It might have been in the 90s. It might have even been in the 80s. It hasn't been anytime soon. Next, we have the Seattle Seahawks at the New Orleans Saints. The Saints are struggling. It is a 1 p.m. kickoff on Fox. And right now, the Saints are a 6.5-point favorite. The Seahawks are 2-2. And I'm taking the upset pick here. I'm going to take the Seattle Seahawks by at least 10 points. The Saints' struggles, I think, are going to continue. And that's going to be 1 p.m. on Fox. Next, we have the Miami Dolphins sans Tua. He's 3-1. The Dolphins are 3-1. They're at the New York Football Jets, who are 2-2. Right now, the Dolphins are a 3.5-point favorite. That game is at 1 p.m. on CBS. Zach Wilson is back. The Zach attack was all they needed last week, and they got the win. And I think they're going to get the win against the Dolphins as well. It's a divisional opponent. I think now that they're home, Zach Wilson looks good. I think the Jets are going to win this one by, I'm going to say at least a touchdown. Could be more, but at least a touchdown. Next, we have a divisional rival between the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Atlanta Falcons. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff on Fox. 2-2 are the Bucks. 2-2 are the Falcons. Tom Brady owns. Now, I know Arthur Blank and the Home Depot they signed the checks for the Atlanta Falcons, but Tom Brady owns the Atlanta Falcons. Right now, it's a 9.5-point favorite. If it's time for the Bucks to snap out of it, this is the opportunity to snap out of it. I'm going to take the Buccaneers by at least 14 points in this one. Next, we have the Tennessee Titans at 2-2 at the Washington Commanders at 1-3. That is 1 p.m. on CBS, and right now the Titans are listed as a 2.5-point favorite. I'm going to say they're going to win by a touchdown. They'll win by a touchdown. I've got the Titans winning this one by 7 points. Next, we have the 0-3-1 Houston Texans. It ain't going to get any easier for them now. They're at the Jacksonville Jaguars, who are 2-2. And their 7.5-point favorites are the Jags. This is a 1 p.m. kickoff on CBS. And I will take the Jaguars by 14 or more points. So I think both Florida teams that are hosting in the Tampa Bay Bucks and the Jacksonville Jaguars are going to steamroll their competition by at least 2 touchdowns, maybe more. But 2 touchdowns, I think, for this one. Next, we have the San Francisco 49ers, who got a big win over their divisional rival and the reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams, who are 2-2, at the 1-3 Carolina Panthers. That's a 4:05 kickoff on CBS. Right now, the Panthers are a half-point favorite. I'm going to take the Niners in here, but I think it's going to be close. It seems to be that the Carolina Panthers, although not very good, they are competitive. And you are what your record is. However, I think there's a caveat involved here when that happens. Me personally, the whole you are what your record is, as Bill Parcells said, I kind of disagree with that in the sense that you may be 8-8 or 8-7-1. That doesn't mean middle of the road team. You're within it. If you're within the points and you win or you lose, you win by 5, you lose by 5, or by a field goal, you're keeping it close. And now Carolina's not good. As I said, they'll keep it competitive. I'm going to take the Niners in this one by a field goal. They're going into Carolina. I think Jimmy G will struggle, but again, I think it'll be too much for the Carolina Panthers, and the Niners will win, just barely. They'll escape with a win in Carolina. They used to be divisional rivals, if you remember back in the day when the Panthers started out. They were an NFC West team. This was before the 2002 expansion. Houston Texans came along and they made the divisions 4 instead of 3. You had an NFC East, East, Central, and West. Now you have East, North, South, West. For 20 years now. Hard to believe. Next, we have, this is a good one. We've got the Dallas Cowboys at 3-1 at the 2-2 reigning, defending, undisputed Super Bowl champion Los Angeles Rams. That's going to be a 4:25 kickoff on Fox. Now, you'd think this would be a great home game for the Rams. Think again. The Dallas Cowboys training facility is in Oxnard, California. They don't train in Texas. They train in California. This is going to be a sort of home game for the Cowboys. I'm going to take the Rams, although they're favored by a half a point. I'm going to take them by 6 points. Although, again, Cooper Rush is undefeated as a starter in the NFL, and they shouldn't be in a rush to rush Dak Prescott back into the starting lineup for the Dallas Cowboys. He's got that thumb injury. Jerry Jones keeps going on Dallas radio saying, yeah, he may start this weekend, even though he can't grip a football. What? Anyway, I'll take the Rams in this one, although would not be surprised at all if the Cowboys even potentially run away with this. I'm going to take the Rams, though. They got to snap out of it. Next, we have the last of the undefeateds of the Philadelphia Eagles, who are at 4-0, at the Arizona Cardinals, who are 2-2. That's a 4:25 game on Fox. Right now, Philadelphia is listed as a 5.5-point favorite. Now remember, this site, Glendale, Arizona, where the Cardinals are playing the Eagles on Sunday, is the host site of Super Bowl 57, this Super Bowl that's coming up. Philadelphia may or may not participate in it. Well, right now they're 4-0, right? And I think they're going to go 5-0. I think they're going to win this game by at least 10 points and defeat the Arizona Cardinals. The Cards are kind of iffy. 1 week great, 1 week not so great. 1 week Kyler Murray looks okay. The other week he looks kind of struggling. I'll take Philly in this one. Next, we have on Sunday Night Football, we have an AFC Norris showdown. And it's a good one. 8:20 p.m. is the kickoff on NBC's Sunday Night Football. The Baltimore Ravens at 2-2, hosting the 2-2 reigning, defending, undisputed AFC champion, Cincinnati Bengals. Right now, the Ravens are a 3.5-point favorite. I'm going to take them to win this by 3 as well. It's a 3.5, but I'm going to take them to win this one by a field goal. The Ravens had that game against the Buffalo Bills. They don't want to let this one slip up, especially against a divisional rival and one that's a defending AFC champ. In the Cincinnati Bengals, Joe Burrow is still trying to get ways to get protection. He looked good against the Dolphins, although the Ravens' defense could pose as a problem, and that's why I think Baltimore is going to win this one. Monday Night Football, we have another division rival, and it's a good one. The AFC West, the Kansas City Chiefs at 3-1, hosting the Las Vegas Raiders at 1-3. Vegas finally got the win over the Arizona Cardinals. No, they did not. They beat the Cardinals. They beat the Broncos. Come on, J-Dog. No. They beat the Denver Broncos in Vegas last week. I'm skipping weeks here. And KC, they got that tough loss against the Indianapolis Colts. Hard to believe, but they're home. No, J-Dog, that was 2 weeks ago. No, J-Dog. Kansas City avenged themselves in the Super Bowl 55 game this past Sunday in Tampa. Stop skipping. 8:15 ESPN is the coverage, not NBC, ESPN, Monday Night Football. And right now, Kansas City is a 7.5-point favorite. I'm going to go double. I think they're going to win this game by 2 touchdowns. It's a divisional rival. They don't like each other. Mahomes always seems to have success against the Raiders. There are times where he struggles in Vegas, but they're not in Vegas. They're in Kansas City. One of the loudest places to play is in Kansas City at Arrowhead Stadium. Is that GEMH Field, something like that at Arrowhead now. But 7.5-point favorite. I said I'm going to go 14 points here. Kansas City and Las Vegas, 8:15 p.m. on NBC. ESPN's Monday Night Football. Okay, let me recap before I do the recap on Tuesday with the games being played. Okay, let's start the first page. I've got for the Horse Bowl tonight, Thursday Night Football on Prime Video, 8 p.m., 8:15 p.m. actually. I've got the Denver Broncos over the Indianapolis Colts. Sunday in London, I've got Green Bay over the Giants. That's 9:30 a.m. on NFL Network. And then I've got Buffalo over Pittsburgh. I've got the Chargers over Cleveland. I have Cleveland as a underlined. Look at this. I have Cleveland I'm not picking them to win. I have them as winning. When I circle, it means I have them winning. I don't have them winning. I have them losing. No, the Chargers are going to win this game. Or at least I'm picking them to win. Vikings over the Bears. Pats over the Lions. Seattle Seahawks over the New Orleans Saints. I've got the Jets over the Dolphins. I've got Tampa Bay over Atlanta. I've got the Tennessee Titans over Washington. I've got Jacksonville over Houston. I've got San Francisco over Carolina. I've got the Rams over the Cowboys. I've got Philadelphia, the Eagles over the Cardinals. The Bird Bowl. This game's gone to the birds. I've got Baltimore over Cincinnati. Although a Bengal, wouldn't that eat a Raven? And I've got Kansas City over Las Vegas. There you have it. J-Dog's Fearless Football Picks for week number 5 in the National Football League. Okay, tomorrow will be another edition of J-Dog's Short Shorts. We're winding that down because come 2023, there'll be no more J-Dog's Short Shorts. It's a 1-year trial. I'll do this again next Thursday. And also, the recap will be on Tuesday to see what I got right and what I got wrong. Hopefully, I got them all correct, and I can have a perfect bracket, a perfect week. That's almost happened to me. I've had like 1 loss or maybe 2 losses. Anyway, back at it next Thursday for J-Dog's Fearless Football Picks for week 6. And then Tuesday, the recap before that. J-Dog's Short Shorts tomorrow here on this YouTube channel. That's all, folks, for week number 5 for J-Dog's Fearless Football Picks.